Hi, welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway, author of On This Day in Tudor History. Where am I going to take you back to today? Well, we're going back to 1541 in the reign of King Henry VIII. For on this day in Tudor history, the 10th of December 1541, just a month and 8 days after an investigation into Queen Catherine Howard's past had been ordered, 2 men were executed at Tyburn. Their names were Thomas Culpepper, a gentleman of the Privy Chamber, and Francis Dereham, a member of the Queen's household. Both men had been tried for treason at Guildhall on the 1st of December 1541 for high treason. Neither man was accused of actually committing adultery with the Queen. The trial focused on their intentions. By meeting secretly with the Queen on the recent royal progress, Thomas Culpepper and the Queen were inciting each other to have carnal intercourse. And Dereham joining the Queen's household, having had a previous sexual relationship with her, was seen as evidence that he wanted to reignite their relationship. Both men were found guilty of high treason and sentenced to be hanged, drawn and quartered. Culpepper and Dereham were drawn on hurdles from the Tower of London to Tyburn on the 10th of December 1541. Chronicler and Windsor Herald Charles Risley records, "This year, the 1st day of December, was arraigned at the Guildhall in London Thomas Culpepper, one of the gentlemen of the King's Privy Chamber, and Francis Dereham, gentleman, for high treason against the King's Majesty, in misdemeanour with the Queen, as appeared by their indictments, which they confessed and had their judgments to be drawn, hanged and quartered. The Lord Mayor sitting there as chief, the Lord Chancellor on his right hand, and the Duke of Norfolk on his left hand, the Duke of Suffolk, the Lord Privy Seal, the Earls of Sussex, of Hertford, and divers other of the King's Council, with all the judges sitting there also in commission the same day. And the 10th day of December, the said Culpepper and Dereham were drawn from the Tower of London to Tyburn. And there Culpepper, after exhortation made to the people to pray for him, he, standing on the ground by the gallows, kneeled down and had his head stricken off. And then Dereham, was hanged, membered, bowled, headed and quartered. Culpepper's body buried at St Sepulchre's Church by Newgate, their heads set on London Bridge. Francis Dereham had been arrested and interrogated after John Lascelles, brother of Mary Hall, who'd been brought up in the Dowager Duchess of Norfolk's household with Catherine, informed Archbishop Thomas Cranmer that one Francis Dereham had lain in bed with her in his doublet and hose between the sheets 100 nights, and a maid in the house had said she would lie no longer with her because she knew not what matrimony was. A report from the King's Council to William Paget, the English ambassador in France, states that Dereham confessed that he had known her carnally many times, both in his doublet and hose between the sheets and in naked bed. However, this was long before Catherine's involvement with King Henry VIII. Thomas Culpepper's name was mentioned by both Catherine and Dereham, and during an interrogation, Dereham stated that Culpepper had succeeded him in the Queen's affections. When Catherine was examined, she confessed to having secret assignations with Culpepper while she, the King and the royal court were on the northern progress over the summer. She also confessed to calling him her little sweet fool, and giving him a cap, a chain and a cramp ring. Catherine denied having a sexual relationship with Culpepper, but Culpepper sealed his fate by confessing that he intended and meant to do ill with the Queen, and that in likewise the Queen so minded to do with him. So the intention was there. Dereham, Culpepper, Catherine and Jane Boleyn, Lady Rochford, were not the only people to be arrested and imprisoned in 1541. Various members of the Howard and Tilney families were imprisoned, including Catherine's step-grandmother, the elderly and quite frail Dowager Duchess of Norfolk. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be back tomorrow with another Tudor history event for you, and of course there are at the moment Teasel's Tudor trivia videos too. You can subscribe by clicking round about there. You can hit the bell to be notified as these videos go live, and you can of course give me a like and leave me a comment. Thank you for joining me. Bye bye.